Those who are familiar with avant-garde menswear would have heard the name Carol Christian Poell uttered at some point in their circles. A mysterious figure, little is known about the life of Poell, though much about his personality is revealed through the provocative nature of his designs. Whether he's attacking the cyclical nature of the fashion industry or the rubric of Byzantine geology, Poell remains a plinth of independence in the fashion world. From samorth with seams to garments dyed with pig's blood, we can learn much about the timeless philosophy of this man from the nature of the single piece. Carol's objective in designing clothes, in his words, is to bridge the line between barbarism and passivity, as visible with his chaotic yet well-maintained silhouettes and violent tailoring. Such a dichotomy is further prevalent in the designer himself. A self-proclaimed vegan, his use of pig's blood and exotic leathers in clothing juxtaposes his personal dietary choices, further highlighting the line between the barbaric and the passive. There is almost something Taoist, he said in an interview, about choosing to be vegan yet using such abhorrent materials. This choice of abhorrence against passivity is what gives his clothing its provocative yet Felician edge. Picture this: you're out having a meal with your friends, you're all enjoying yourselves. You're at a lovely Turkish restaurant in a city side street, the rain's pouring outside, it's a beautiful day, and then the bill comes and it's time to decide how you're going to pay. One of your friends says he hasn't got a wallet on him and the other just gets up and leaves without saying anything. What would you do? Carol Christian Poell is one of the few designers who refrains from having seasonal collections. Instead, he chooses to work at a piece at his own pace until it is complete. Such a process results in a wholeness with every garment, with pieces telling stories on their own merit. He was reported to have once worked for 2 months without eating in order to perfect a single evening jacket. Life and death is another prevalent theme in Poell's work. Not only is this dichotomy involved in the making of his clothing, it is involved too in the wearing of it. Clothes are described by customers as being incredibly fucking uncomfortable and itchy like dog, with some even calling his design straight up palibocile. Despite this, Poell retains a cult following of hermit-esque fans to fawn over his work, shelling out thousands to wear another pig's carcass overcoat. Poell's outbreak into the fashion industry occurred in 1995 when he was spotted outside his Milan apartment by fashion journalist Gregory Duchil, skinning rats and turning them into cowboy hats. Instantly, Duchil knew he was talented and asked if he could purchase one of the hats. Carol responded with a series of growls and guttural noises, as he had not yet learned to communicate in any human language, before tossing the sewn together skins towards him. Duchil still wears the hat to this day. Poell's most infamous display, the 2004 show Mainstream Downstream, cemented his place into fashion history, sending a cast of recently deceased Poell-clad models down an Italian canal, the bodies of which he had stolen from a nearby morgue the day prior. An audience watched in horror as they witnessed well-tailored garments become destroyed by the canal's current. At moments in the show, a single foot might appear floating alongside a body, or a human child's ear. The contrast of such grotesque imagery with the serenity of an Italian river was the best display of Carol's artistic philosophy yet, and to this day no fashion show has achieved such greatness. At the end of the show, Poell was not to witness the applause. He had vanished, leading the audience to believe he'd fled in order to maintain his elusive persona. Nowadays, Poell is a reclusive living in an undisclosed country, working entirely on his own on new designs. Allegedly evading obscenity charges from the Italian government, he continues to produce outstanding garments for those willing to spend. His work remains as provocative as ever, and his lifestyle no less mysterious.